Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Movie Pop, and today we're finally here. We're ready to talk about one of the latest shitbag of films that's come out since Hellboy, one of my personal favorites to hate.
Oh yeah, we love Hellboy.
The second worst film of the year that we've seen. It's called Ready or Not. Lawrence, man, what were your expectations going into this? I'm curious, man.
I actually had high hopes for this film because they always said like, oh, this has really good ratings, it's so good, check it out, this new movie. And I was like, hey, I'll give it a chance. It's kind of like a unique twist on this horror genre. I was like, okay, I appreciate that. They're kind of not doing the usual, like, horror stuff. I'm like, all right, they're trying something new, that's fine. So I had a somewhat high hopes. I mean, I'm not going to say like I had like, oh, this is going to be the best movie ever, but I was like, okay, so it could be good. You heard
that it's good, but when you saw these trailers, were you like engaged, like, damn, this looks like a solid concept? I want to see this shit. This looks awesome. I'm down with the concept.
Yeah, like I like the concept, but the trailer I was like, it could be boring, but then I was like, okay, maybe they're not showing us like everything that happens. So I was like, give them the benefit of the doubt, but yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, for myself, I saw so I don't like horror films to begin with, so full disclosure, all right? Mm-hmm. I saw the concept for this film. I agree with you. I was like, this looks like an interesting concept. It's something new. It looks like a horror version of Clue, which we haven't seen since like the 1980s.
Yeah, right.
But I was so in the trailers, all right, and I'll finish with this. In the trailers, they established that the main protagonist of this film, which is Alex, who is the groomsman, marries his bride into a family who is rich and rich family who's made their money from games. And he basically tricks her into doing some sort of like ritual that this family has, some sort of satanic ritual, and doesn't reveal this to her up front. Immediately, that to me, I was like, that seems very suspect. Like, why would you put a bride that you love in that kind of danger? Like, just tell her outright, hey, my family's fucking batshit crazy. Babe, sorry, like, we don't have to do this, but this is what they want me to do.
He says in the movie, like, this is near the beginning, so it's not that much of a spoiler. He's pretty much just like, well, you would have left if I told you. So I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense.
I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
Yeah.
I think she would have left if you would have told her, like, at the house before it actually happened.
Yeah.
But if you would have gave her, like, a 6 month advance, hey, this is what my family wants me to do, it would have been like, well, thanks, babe. Thanks for sparing me.
Yeah.
That's how I feel, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't buy the concept outright. So I was very suspect about how engaged I would be with this film.
Yeah. Do you want to just talk about, because I don't know about you, I don't have that many good things to say about this. Do you want to just talk about some of the pros? Do you have a lot of good stuff to say? I don't have a lot of good stuff to say.
Not a lot of good stuff, but I think this film does have its merits, and it does succeed
absolutely.
Well. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Let's just dive right into it, guys.
Okay.
We'll start off first with the Rotten Tomatoes critic consensus. It's currently holding an 87% critic score, followed by
generous.
an equal, very generous.
Yeah.
An equally generous 82% audience score rating on Rotten Tomatoes. So, man, we're the outsiders here with all these yokels watching these crap films.
Yeah, and I really wanted this movie to be good. Like, I mean, I don't want to shit on it too much because it's kind of an independent film, and I always want people, the underdogs to shine. But we'll talk more about that when we get to the cons, because I got a lot of stuff there. But let's talk about some things that it did well then. So let's start with that.
Okay, some things that it did well. When you have these moments of high tension, the horror stakes are, amped up, and you're rooting for the antagonist to make it through to their objective. I won't say without spoiling anything. I think those moments are executed very well. I'm on the edge of my seat, like, no, don't be doing that, bitch. Don't stop. Don't do this. Right?
Yeah, I think that's
Did you get that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're few and far between, but I think when they do happen, you definitely get that sense.
Few and far between, really. I think it was pretty generous with those.
Do you think there's I don't think there's that many scenes. I think there's only like a couple.
I mean, by a couple, I'm saying like 5 or 6 scenes like that
Really?
with like high tension.
I think like I felt that way for only about 2 or 3 of the scenes. I think everything else was kind of predictable.
Predictable. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that aside, I like the characterization of a lot of the characters. I like the bride. Fitch, the fat guy, I thought was hilarious. I loved his character. Some of his lines were just so funny.
He's not in the movie much, but yeah, and he's
not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
totally
like when I laughed in the
underutilized.
movie, though, I kind of chuckled. It wasn't really like hilarious, you know. I don't know if you got that same.
Well, how about, we had to catch a charter plane here. Commercial air travel is so cumbersome. Like, that whole, I was like, oh, come on, bro.
They're also like all like filthy rich, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I was laughing at it. But that aside, it's a competent film. It's well directed. I guess you could say well lit. All the general things you would expect from a Hollywood production, it delivers on that aspect. That's basically it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I just like the unique style they did. Like I like how it's kind of like a game night horror movie, you know? I thought that was cool. That's why I was kind of willing to give the movie a chance. I think also, I mean, the only other thing I got out of this that I liked, and the main character is, she's relatively likable and she's pretty attractive. So, I mean, there's that. But
She almost looks like Margot Robbie. My brother watched it with me, and he thought...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like a younger... Yeah, I don't know. She has something kind of like her. Yeah, it's hard to like...
Like a Margot Robbie, like, / Eva Green hybrid.
Yeah. yeah. Definitely. But yeah, that's like, there's not honestly too many things I loved about the film. I found myself kind of bored throughout a lot of it. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It's just, I think I kind of knew where the movie was going and realized it was going to be like a long, boring ride. So with that said, let's jump right into some things we didn't like. Let's talk about some of the cons, because I have quite a few.
This is something that bothered me about the film before I even saw the film, and I just alluded to this with what I saw the premise was in the trailers.
Yeah.
I didn't buy the premise. I didn't buy the motivation of the main character. I didn't buy like how he was trying to hide certain elements of his family or all that stuff. Like, so that bothered me throughout the film. Like, even though I was engaged in a lot of like very, very tense moments, a lot of dramatic moments, a lot of horror, I was still bothered by the concept of the film. Like, why is this even happening to begin with?
Yeah.
So I couldn't buy into it, fully.
No, yeah, me too. I was wondering, I'm like, what's the big payoff at the end of the movie?
Right. I mean, what's all of their motivations? I mean, they didn't even explain really the backstory about, like, because obviously not obviously, but as you watch this film, you begin to learn that this family is essentially a satanic cult, that their motivations are driven by their belief in Satan. But they don't really explain that like up front, and you don't really get to really fully understand that towards the end, and you're really questioning.
Yeah, you don't even get
hints of it. Yeah. So I'm like, really, like, would one really be doing all of this based off like a hunch?
Yeah, I know, it's kind of strange. That's where I think the story kind of falls apart.
Big time.
What other cons do you have?
That's pretty much the gist of it, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I just wrote that the story overall, it just kind of, you expect like this really big payoff, or you expect like this twist in the story, and there's really just nothing there at the end. Yeah. At the end, there's nothing really happens. We don't want to spoil what happens in the end, but there's really just nothing there. It's kind of just like, gotcha, this is the end of the movie, and you're just like, that's why I feel like this movie suffers. Like, I feel like there's things it does well, but then it's just kind of like well, where's the ending?
Right.
That's it?
Things it does well, and things that they just totally just fumble on.
Yeah. And these are
just
major
fall
things.
complete.
There's just...
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like some scenes in the film are kind of long, and I'm just like, oh my god. Maybe because I was just bored. I don't know if this is just because I was bored. But I feel like... do you know how long the runtime was on the movie? I think it was like 2 hours.
I don't know, actually. I was going to check,
there's no payoff and there's no real story that they're setting up. I don't understand why the movie was so long and some scenes were so long. It's just like, oh my god. I think you can get to the point. If you're not going to have a crazy story or something at the end, I feel like you can just get to the point faster. Like, if it's going to be like zero payoff, then why not just end the movie, like make it shorter, you know? I feel like that's more... when the movie is shorter and it gets to the point, but it's like simple, I feel like that's more forgivable because it's like, well, I didn't invest 2 hours, so I don't expect a crazy payoff, you know? I invested like an hour and a half, okay, and there's not a crazy payoff. That's fine, I get it. You know, but it's like...
Did this movie feel necessarily long to you?
It didn't feel like some of the other movies we've seen where it's just like super overindulgent, but I'm just like, I think I expected more of a payoff. That's really what bothers me, is I expected more of a payoff for the time that I invested in watching the movie, and the fact that there pretty much just is nothing at the end. There's like just literally nothing at the end, I feel. Do you agree with me on that? I feel like there's not really a payoff at all, right?
Oh no, there's not only is there not a payoff, but the quote unquote payoff is so retarded.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
there's just nothing there.
Not only there's nothing, there's less than nothing there. The character motivations completely flip like 180 degrees against what you would expect, and it's like, what?
I thought it was stupid.
What? You're doing this?
Yeah, I was like, why?
Oh, stupid.
You guys need to watch the movie. You guys need to understand what we're talking about. But yeah, I mean, don't watch the movie, but watch the movie so you get what we're talking in.
Don't worry, guys. Don't even bother watching this movie. I mean, really, truly. I think there's better movies to watch out there right now. I would not recommend watching this movie.
You're not missing much. You're not missing much. I mean, maybe check it out if you got some free time and just let us know if you agree with us or whatever. But one last thing, one of my last cons is I just feel like a lot of elements of the story, like in the beginning when they're setting up the story, it's not explained. So I was wondering, well, there's these members of the family that married in that have played games. What happened when they played those games? I wanted to know. They don't tell you. Why are these people that married in the family okay with murdering innocent people? They don't explain it. What I just have all these questions, and I'm like, they're not really hard questions. You can answer them in a 15-second scene. You can answer them in passing. They never answer them. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I have my hands up in the air. That was me the whole movie. I'm just like, what?
Yeah,
and it's just they're simple things.
I hear you. Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted the movie to be good. Faltered on a lot of things in the storytelling and just the final, I wanted it to be good, but it just I gotta tell it like it is, All
right, so let me ask you this question, Lawrence. Is this an action boy stinker?
It's like a horror movie stinker, but yeah, this is definitely Lawrence approved stinker.
Boom, and there it is, folks. You hear the toilet flush, you hear the fart sound, you know it's an action boy stinker, and a horror boy stinker.
I'm gonna give this movie. I like what it tried to do, but unfortunately, it just falters in really critical parts of the story. There's just no payoff. No. A lot of stuff isn't explained. I'm gonna have to give this movie a 2, unfortunately.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm going to go right there almost with you with 2.5 bags of popcorn. I think I enjoyed it just a bit more than you did. I got some thrills out of it. I was questioning it throughout the whole runtime of the film, but I enjoyed it more or less for half of the runtime. So would I recommend seeing it? No. But if you have to see it, it'll be all right. All right. Well, there you go. You have it from both of us. 2 bags of popcorn from Lawrence, 2.5 bags of popcorn from myself here at Movie Pop. It's an Action Boy stinker certified. So if you guys want to see more awesome movie reviews, trailer reactions, please make sure to follow us on social media. You can find all the links right down below.
And as always, like, subscribe, show some love. If you're new to the channel, we want to hear from you. We're so glad that you're here, and we want to hear in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching.